Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be unboxing the Deco Pro LW, the brand new digital tablet of Gen 2 from XP Pen. We have made a lot of videos on our channel about digital tablets, how to choose one and its various types. So I'm excited to see how this tablet functions. This product was sent to me from XP Pen, but this is not a sponsored review. I'm Salman, an architect and an illustrator. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon for notification. So let's get started. The box itself comes with a really well-made design and it's extremely attractive. Behind the box, we have all the features of this tablet mentioned here. The main feature of this tablet being that this has a pressure sensitivity of about 16,000 pressure levels. Right when we open the box, we are greeted with the digital tablet itself. The bottom side of the box also has some soft cushions to prevent any scratches or damage on the tablet. Brownie points for the packaging. This also has some instructions on how to turn on the tablet and instructions for Bluetooth pairing. All the other components are again neatly packed in smaller boxes, so let's take a look at each of them individually. First up, we have a box with two different types of cables with different ports for connectivity. In the next one, we have some documents as well as the drawing glove. We have the warranty card, a nice drawing glove, and the instruction manual. Most of us never have the habit of reading the instruction manual. I did the same mistake as well, and I ended up spending a lot of time trying to figure out a certain aspect of this tablet, which I'll talk about later in this video. The next compact box was actually very impressive, and this is the wireless shortcut remote. The build quality of this product is extremely sturdy, and it feels like a miniature of a well-built desktop keyboard. Up next is yet another impressive product, which is the pen holder. This is the nicest pen holder that I've come across in any of the tablets that I've used, and it has a solid metal body. You can press on the bottom, and with a click, this will open the pen. Along with the pen, we have multiple sets of replacement nibs, as well as the USB dongle for the keyboard. I had to take a moment to adore this pen stand, and I also could not stop myself from smelling this amazing product. Let me tell you, this smells amazing, and it takes you back to your childhood, where we used to have these small fragrant erasers. First impression of the pen, it looks solid as well. It's not too heavy, but not too light either. So those are the components that come within this box. Let's begin by unwrapping the tablet and see what the textures look like. Once we open the plastic sticker, the drawing side of the tablet also has a matte sticker which we'll have to peel off before we start drawing. The rear side of the tablet has a metal look, but it's actually plastic. Now get ready for the satisfying peel off. As you can see, the tablet has a matte texture, and this is the most mattest texture that I've seen on any device that I've used. The size of this tablet is an LW, which is 11 by 7 inches. The drawing area of this tablet is almost the size of an A4 sheet of paper, and I think this is an ideal size for a beginner or a professional. And you also have a M and an XL size to choose from. This is a screenless tablet, so we'll have to connect it to a PC or your mobile phone and draw over it without looking at the tablet. The surface is smooth matte, but it has some really small textures that you can feel with your fingers. The rear side has a grey plastic finish, and it has rubber on 6 sides of the edges to prevent your tablet from sliding across the table. The design has a nice slope from the top to the bottom of the tablet, and this can actually make the drawing experience much more smooth. You wouldn't have a sudden edge while drawing from the top to the bottom of the screen. This curve can also be good to rest your wrist. We have some ports and buttons on the top side of the tablet, the first one being a USB-C port for the wired connection. I like that the connection port has been moved to the top because on my previous tablet, I'm used to having it on the left side. This can be sometimes annoying when you place your hand on the left side while drawing. Right next to it, we have a slider button which changes the Bluetooth connectivity from two devices with just one slide. Up next, we have the power on and the Bluetooth connection button. The surface of the tablet kind of goes past the base, so it creates a kind of a floating look for the tablet. This tablet has an internal battery of about 3000 mAh and it lasts for 10 hours. So we'll have to use the USB port to charge the device based on your usage. The large size is also ideal if you want to carry it around and work outside, since it's easier to carry it along with your laptop in your bag. Inside the pen stand, we have 4 replacement hot nibs and 4 felt nibs. The texture of both these nibs vary, and you can choose the one based on your preference. The pen has tilt support and has a whopping 16,000 pressure levels. So this might not make a big difference for all the users, but if you're into detailing, then you might see the difference. It has a comfortable silicone grip, and there are 2 buttons on the stylus which are customizable from the XP Pen driver. We have an eraser at the back, and this is also customizable. This does not have a battery and it does not need to be charged. As I mentioned, this is a solid build and the weight of it is not too heavy or too light as well. The main difference between the previous generation of DecoPen and the Gen 2 is this wireless remote controller. On the previous versions, all the buttons are provided on the tablet itself, and on this one, the buttons have been separated as a separate device. Now this can be subjective based on how you use the tablet while drawing, but for me personally, this is a great feature because I never actually used many of the buttons on the drawing tablet. I directly use the keyboard shortcuts since I'm dealing with a lot of shortcuts on Photoshop and Illustrator. This device is light, fully customizable, and you can also move it around your desk based on your comfort. We have 10 customizable keys and a wheel, and all of these are fully customizable. Before we start using the device, let's make sure to install the latest version of the XP Pen driver for this specific device from their website. This is highly critical, and if you have an older version of the XP Pen driver installed, make sure to install the newer version. If not, the device might not be working. Now let's do the wired connection of the tablet using the cables. My laptop has a USB-C port just like all the new laptops of today, so I'm using this cable to make the connection. If your driver has been correctly installed, this will connect instantly and will be able to customize all the functions of the tablet from the XP Pen driver right here. We have the options to customize the screen area for the tablet, and in the pen settings, we'll be able to customize the pressure levels to make it harder or softer, and also assign different functions for the buttons on the pen. The driver also shows the battery percentage of the tablet. So that was the wired connection, which is pretty simple, but for the wireless connection, I had to spend about 1 hour simply because I did not read a simple line on this instruction manual. This was the mistake I mentioned earlier in this video. Apparently, to connect it to a device via Bluetooth, we'll have to hold the power switch for 3 seconds and the indicator light will flash in blue. Now once again, we'll have to press the same button for about 6 seconds, and this time the indicator light will be flashing quickly. That is when the tablet is in pairing state and we'll be able to pair it to our computer. So guys, this is your sign to never miss the instruction manual. Once you do that, the device is connected to your computer. We can use this slide button to pair it subsequently to another device. By doing so, we'll be able to switch 2 devices and work on 2 different files simultaneously. Once I completed setting up the device, I head over to Photoshop to see how the brushes function. I chose the default pressure-sensitive brush on Photoshop and started drawing a few lines without applying much pressure on the brush. On the first glance, the difference in pressure sensitivity was very evident, and I could notice the difference in line weights even with light pressure differences. On the next set of lines, I started creating a thick and thin line in one continuous stroke. As you see on the screen, the transition between the thickness and the thinness was very smooth, but at the same time, it was fully controllable as well. For the next test, I started creating a continuous stroke of thin lines, really quick like hatching, to see how the tablet functions. The tablet detects even the smallest of the pen strokes, and it almost replicates the feeling of drawing on paper. Right here, you can see the variation of pen strokes and how it goes from very thin to thick lines in one single stroke. This kind of gives you a perception of the varied pen strokes that this brush can create. For regular users, this would be highly efficient whether you use it for sketching or painting. Ergonomically, using this tablet was really comfortable. Me being someone who always uses the keyboard for most of the shortcuts while drawing, it was really easy for me to adapt to this small remote controller. Right now, I have not assigned most of the functions for this controller, but I was still able to adapt to the functions of the keys. If you're going to be using this for long hours, you can definitely feel how comfortable that this setup is going to be. My final thoughts on this tablet is that this is an amazing upgrade from the previous tablet that I was using. Even though I had a screen drawing tablet, I preferred using a wired, screenless tablet simply because this is much more flexible to be used on a table. The XP Pen Deco Gen 2 retains the same factor, but also upgrades the quality of drawing much beyond. I also constantly switch between working on my laptop and my desktop, so this device is an ideal choice to work on both of these devices simultaneously. With just one click of a button, I have the flexibility to work on 2 different files and 2 different projects. Also, the wireless function has great advantage for anyone who wants to draw outside or in travel. This can actually be an alternative for anyone who wants to pick an iPad because you can simply carry it around and work anywhere like an office or a cafe. The pressure sensitivity is also really great, so we don't have to apply too much pressure and therefore saves our wrist. This device is currently priced at $18,000 on the XP Pen website, and this is definitely worth for the quality and ergonomics that it offers. This can be for anyone who wants to get started with digital sketching and for any professionals who wants to upgrade to the newer versions of digital tablets. Also, if you're looking to get an iPad solely for sketching, you can actually consider this device, which is priced at about 1/4 of the price of the iPad. You can simply connect it to your laptop or your mobile phone and start drawing instantly. I have been using this tablet for a few weeks now, and this small curve on the tablet has a great advantage when you're working on it for a long hours. The XP Pen drivers are very reliable, and you don't have to make too many changes on the device once you set it up. The only con that I see in this device is that the pricing might be slightly higher for anyone who wants to get started with digital sketching as a beginner. And you need to develop your hand-to-eye coordination, which is pretty usual for all screenless tablets. The pressure levels can also be a great advantage in the long run, since you don't have to apply too much pressure on your wrist. This device is definitely going to be on my table for constant use for the years to come. And if you're looking to get this digital tablet, I would highly recommend it without any reservation. Thank you once again XP Pen for sending me this digital tablet. If you have any questions about this tablet, leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. That was it from this video. I'll see you on the next one.